Broadcasting to you from the heart of northern Minnesota, this is the best music-oriented podcast and web series on all of YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Roger Radio Show. I am Roger Radio. And obviously, it's a lonely old podcast right now because of Aegis's absence, but we're going to make it count. He's in Duluth right now. So what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead with this special podcast because obviously the Grammy nominations for 2026 have recently been released, and I thought I'd do a quick podcast to discuss this. Obviously, I'm not going to really go much in depth into all of these, mainly because I got a bunch of other stuff to do, but we are going to make this count right now. I pretty much got everything that's here. And as far as it goes for nominations for the categories, there's nearly 90 fucking different categories, I think. So we're going to go ahead and go through all of these one by one. The information will be in the description below, and I encourage you all to check it out and let me know in the comments what you think about it. So we're going to kick this off right now. This here is an article that was released on the Grammy Awards' website. The 2026 Grammys take place Sunday, February 1st, 2026 at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. Yeah, I'm sure you really want to promote something that's not safe for money. Broadcasting live on the CBS television network and streaming live and on demand on Paramount Plus. So I'll have an opportunity to actually watch that because I do have Paramount Plus. Watch highlights and exclusive Grammys content from the 2026 Grammys all year long at live.grammy.com. The Recording Academy has officially released the full list of nominees for the 2026 Grammys, marking the start of this year's Grammy season and setting the stage for music's biggest night. The nominees were announced today during a live stream with artists including Chappelle Roan, Doechii, Karol G, Mumford & Sons, Sabrina Carpenter, Sam Smith, and more presenting all 95 Grammy categories. So yeah, there's fucking 95 of these that I have to go through. And I got enough shit to do, ladies and gentlemen, but I have an obligation to all of you. This year's nominations span a wide range of artists, genres, and projects, from established acts to first-time nominees across pop, country, rap, R&B, Latin, global, jazz, and beyond, reflecting a year marked by wide-ranging creativity in music. Oh yeah, don't mention the word rock and roll Grammys. Yeah, I'm sure that's really gonna do you wonders for all the classic rock people like myself out there. Oh, and by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you could tell I do have some classic rock stuff on here. So yeah, Grammys, fuck you. Winners will be determined by the Recording Academy's voting members, a peer group composed of music creators, including artists, songwriters, producers, engineers, and more. I would say it's more like favoritism, corruption, people. Their Grammy votes decide every Grammy nominee and Grammy winner revealed on music's biggest night, reinforcing the Grammy Award as music's only industry-recognized peer-voted honor. In my opinion, it should not be like that anymore. It should be the people who decide who should get the awards. This is fucking favoritism at its highest, ladies and gentlemen. This year also marks a notable update to the Grammy Awards process. The 2026 Grammys will introduce two new Grammy categories: Best Traditional Country Album and Best Album Cover. These additions further the Recording Academy's commitment to recognizing a broader spectrum of artistic craft and honoring the evolving ways of music is created and experienced. Oh, really? What's going to be next, Grammys? Is it going to be an AI network that'll decide the winners and nominees so soon? Because, ladies and gentlemen, AI music's getting out of control. Have you not noticed? Do you not see the bullshit that's on the internet? It's coming. And next thing you know, it'll be the fucking sentience from iRobot, who will be like, all right, we'll choose this, and get it done and over with. Okay, shake. The 2026 Grammys will take place Sunday, February 1st, 2026, live at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, broadcasting live on the CBS television network and streaming live and on demand on Paramount Plus. Okay, so if you remember, if you all seen a YouTube short that I posted a while back, the Grammys did make one change. So I will quickly summarize what the stuff will be. On June 12th of 2025, the Recording Academy announced several changes for different categories and updates on eligibility rules for the 2026 Grammys. Category changes were, there were 2 new categories that were added: Best Traditional Country Album and Best Album Cover. There will be now 95 categories totaled. Best Country Album overall has been renamed Best Contemporary Country Album. So basically it was all one whole category for the country albums, but now they're doing both traditional and contemporary, which is something they should have fucking did a long time ago, obviously. In addition to that, there is also Best Boxed or Special Limited Edition packaging will be merged back into the Best Recording Package category. So that's another good stuff right there. All right, so the criteria amendments were artists who were previously featured on a record nominated for Album of the Year are now eligible to be nominated for Best New Artist if their contributions to the album were 20% or less. Composers and lyricists / libridists are now eligible for Grammy recognition in selected categories in the classical field, which is including but not limited to Best Orchestral Performance, Best Choral Performance, I think is how it's pronounced, Best Chamber Music / Small Ensemble Performance, Best Classical Instrument Solo, and Best Classical Solo Vocal Album. Previously, only the album's artists, producers, and engineers would receive recognition. The maximum number of principal vocalists who may be awarded in the Best Musical Theater Album category is increased from 4 to 6. The physical product eligibility requirement for the Best Recording Package, Best Album Notes, and Best Historical Album has been expanded to be more representative of today's marketplace to ensure that physical album packages sold directly to fans through an artist's or label's website are now eligible for Grammy consideration. The craft committee serving the package, notes, and historical field is switching from a regional to a national model. And finally, minor description updates to the Best Regional Roots Music Album, Best Progressive R&B Album, Best Dance Pop Recording, Best American Roots Performance, and Best American Roots Song categories. Okay. To continue on, the process amendments. The 2026 Grammy ballots will be presented in a randomized order for the first time, rather than an alphabetical order. Of the change, Chief Awards and Global Industry Officer for the Recording Academy, Ruby Marchand, stated, "This ballot update brings our process in line with standard voting best practices and further ensures the process is fair and equitable for all entries." It was speculated that the change was implemented to encourage voters to familiarize themselves with the entire ballot rather than defaulting to favorite artists / work, and to prevent artists who are listed first alphabetically from having an unfair advantage. At the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter. There is still a lot of fucking unfair advantage. And as far as it goes for the favorites thing, of course we're gonna vote for our favorites, you fucking idiots. Okay, so we're going to continue this on. The first, we're going to now cover all the general fields here, and there's going to be a lot of them. I may take a potential break at some point around the 40 mark, but I don't know yet, so I just hope I remember the count here. The first category is Record of the Year, and the nominees are DTMF by Bad Bunny, Man Child by Sabrina Carpenter, Anxiety by Doechii, Wildflower by Billie Eilish, Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA or SZA, The Subway by Chappelle Roan, and Apartment or APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. Album of the Year nominees are Debí Tirar Más Fotos by Bad Bunny, Swag by Justin Bieber, Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter, Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clips, that's with a C, Mayhem by Lady Gaga, GNX by Kendrick Lamar, Mutt by Leon Thomas, and Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. Song of the Year is Abracadabra, Anxiety, Apartment or APT, DTMF, Golden, Luther, Manchild, and Wildflower. Best New Artist nominees are Olivia Dean, Cat's Eye, The Marias, Addison Rae, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, and Lola Young. Okay. Producer of the Year non-classical nominees are Dan Auerbach, Circuit, that's C-I-R-K-U-T, Dijon, Blake Mills, and Soundwave. No D in that name. Songwriter of the Year non-classical nominees are Amy Allen, Edgar Barrera, Jesse Joe Dillon, Tobias Jusso Jr., and Laura Veltz. Impressive categories so far here, but as far as I'm concerned, it kind of gets a little tiring when the same old bullshit keeps getting nominated. No disrespect to my boy Kendrick Lamar or my girl Lady Gaga. Now we move on to the pop and dance / electronic categories. Best pop solo performance is Daisies by Justin Bieber, Manchild by Sabrina Carpenter, Disease by Lady Gaga, The Subway by Chappelle Roan, and Messy by Lola Young. Best pop duo / group performance nominees are Defying Gravity by Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, Golden by Hunter / X, EJ, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Amy, Gabriella by Cat's Eye, Apartment or APT by Rose and Bruno Mars, and 30 for 30 by SZA or SZA and Kendrick Lamar. Best pop vocal album is nominees are Swag by Justin Bieber, Man's Best Friend by Sabrina Carpenter, Something Beautiful by Miley Cyrus, Mayhem by Lady Gaga, and I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 2 by Teddy Swims. Best dance / electronic album categories are You Sexua, I think is how it's pronounced, by FKA Twigs, 10 Days by Fred Again, Fancy That by Pink Pantheris, that's a killer name right there, Inhale / Exhale by Rufus Du Sol, and Fuck You Skrillex, You Think You're Andy Warhol But You're Not by Skrillex. I think that might be one of the most savage, vicious names I ever heard in my life, so. Best dance pop recording nominees are Bluest Flame by Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Midnight Sun by Zara Larsson, and Just Keep Watching by Tate McRae, and Illegal by Pink Pantheris. Best dance / electronic recording nominees are No Cap by Disclosure and Anderson .Paak, Victory Lap by Fred Again, Skepta, and Plaque Max, Space Invader by K Tranada, Voltage by Skrillex, and End of Summer by Tame Impala. And finally, Best Remix Recording and non-classical nominees are Abracadabra, Don't Forget About Us, A Dream's a Dream, Galvanize, and Golden. I almost fucking sneezed, people. Goddamn. And now we get on to my most favorite category, who I will be looking forward to right here. The rock, metal, and alternative categories. The best rock performance nominees are You Should Not Be Doing That by Amyl and the Sniffers, The Emptiness Machine by Linkin Park, Never Enough by Turnstile, Murda Zeppine by Hayley Williams, I hope that's how I pronounce that song. Changes back live from Villa Park back to the beginning by Young Blood, featuring Nuno Bencourt, Frank Bello, Adam Wakeman, and two. That's just two L's pretty much. Best metal performance is Night Terror by Dream Theater, Lacrima by Ghost, Emergence by Sleep Token, Soft Spine by Spirit Box, and Birds by Turnstile. Now, this is going to be an interesting one right here because Aegis and I are huge Dream Theater fans, and it's about time Parasomnia got recognized. But Aegis is a huge Sleep Token fan, so I think me and him are going to kind of clash on that one there. Best rock song nominees are As Alive as You Need to Be by Nine Inch Nails, Caramel by Sleep Token, Glum by Hayley Williams, Never Enough by Turnstile, and Zombie by Youngblood. The best rock album nominees are Private Music by Deftones, I Quit by Haim, From Zero by Linkin Park, Never Enough by Turnstile, and Idols by Youngblood. The best alternative music performance nominees are Everything is Peaceful Love by Bon Iver, Alone by The Cure, Seeing Stars by Turnstile, Managed Tout by Wet Leg, and Parachute by Hayley Williams. And finally, best alternative music album nominees are Sable, Fable by Bon Iver, Songs of a Lost World by The Cure, Don't Tap the Glass by Tyler the Creator, Moisturizer by Wet Leg, and Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party by Hayley Williams. Overall, it's a very, very impressive section for nominees right here. Linkin Park, Dream Theater, Sleep Token, fucking Nine Inch Nails. Let's see, who else is there? The Cure also. Can't forget about The Cure. Next up is R&B, rap, and spoken word poetry for the categories. The best R&B performance nominees are Yukon by Justin Bieber, It Depends by Chris Brown, the Rihanna Beater, featuring Bryson Tiller, Folded by Kalani, Mutt by Leon Thomas, and Heart of a Woman by Summer Walker. Best traditional R&B performance nominees are Here We Are by Durand Bernard, Lala Hathaway by Uptown, the song Uptown by Lala Hathaway, Love You Too by Ledisi, Crybaby by SZA or SZA, and Vibes Don't Lie by Leon Thomas. Best R&B song nominees are Folded by Kehlani, Heart of a Woman by Summer Walker, It Depends by Chris Brown featuring Bryson Tiller, Overqualified by Durand Bernard, and Yes It Is by Leon Thomas III. I just want to take a look at one more thing quick. I think there was something that I did mess up on, but I could be wrong. Just give me a moment. Oh yeah, Song of the Year. I want to go back to it quickly because I forgot to add the musicians who were part of the songs. The songs were Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Anxiety by Doechii, APT by Rose and Bruno Mars, DTMF by Bad Bunny, EJ by Hunter X, EJ, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Amy, Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA, SZA, Manchild by Sabrina Carpenter, and Wildflower by Billie Eilish. So, okay, I finally fixed that there. Let's make sure that I'm right where I need to be quick. Okay, I'm right where I need to be. All right, so continue with the rap and spoken word poetry stuff. Best progressive R&B album nominees are Bloom by Durand Bernard, Adjust Brightness by Belai, Love on Digital by Destin Conrad, Access All Areas by FLO or Flow, and Come As You Are by Terrence Martin and Kenyon Dixon. The best R&B album nominees are Beloved by Give On, Why Not More by Coco Jones, The Crown by Ledisi, Escape Room by Teyana Taylor, and Mutt by Leon Thomas. Best Rap Performance nominees are Outside by Cardi B, Chains and Whips by Clips, Pusha T and Malice featuring Kendrick Lamar and Pharrell Williams, Anxiety by Doechii, God fucking damn it, TV Off by Kendrick Lamar featuring Lefty Gunplay, and Darling I by Tyler the Creator featuring Tizo Touchdown. The best melodic rap performance nominees are Proud of Me by Friday featuring Meek Mill, Wholeheartedly by J.I.D. featuring Ty Dolla $ign, and Black, but it's with a 6, not a B. Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA SZA. Weemaj, W-E-M-A-J by Terrence Martin and Kenyon Dixon featuring Rhapsody. Somebody Loves Me by Party Next Door and Drake. The best rap song nominees are Anxiety by Doechii, The Birds Don't Sing by Clips, Pusha T and Malice featuring John Legend and Voices of Fire, Sticky by Tyler the Creator featuring Glorilla, Sexy Red and Lil Wayne, TGIF by Glorilla, and TV Off by Kendrick Lamar featuring Lefty Gunplay. The best rap album nominees are Let God Sort 'Em Out by Clips, Glorious by Glorilla, God Does Like Ugly by J.I.D., GNX by Kendrick Lamar, and Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator. And finally, Best Spoken Word Poetry Album nominees are Black Shaman by Mark Marcel, Pages by Omari Hardrick and Anthony Hamilton, Saul Williams Meets Carlos Nino and Friends at Friends Street Tree People by Saul Williams, Carlos Nino and Friends, and finally Words for Days Volume 1 by Mad Skills. Okay. We're going to go through this, the last category here, then I'm going to take a short break because I think my laundry's done and I want to get that put away. Before we go to break, the last category we'll quickly cover is jazz, traditional pop, contemporary instrumental, and musical theater. The best jazz performance nominees are Noble Rise by Lakeshia Benjamin featuring Emmanuel Wilkins and Mark Whitfield, Windows Live by Chick Corea, Christian McBride, and Brian Blade, Peace of Mind / Dreams Come True by Samara Joy, 4 by Michael Mayo, and All Stars Lead to You Live by Nicole Zaratis, Dan Pugach, Tom Scott, Edan Morim, Keon Harold, and Rachel Eckroth. The best jazz vocal album nominees are Elemental by Dee Dee Bridgewater and Bill Charlap, We Insist 2025 by Terry Lynn Carrington and Christy Dashiell, Portrait by Samara Joy, Fly by Michael Mayo, and Live at Vic's Las Vegas by Nicole Zaratis, Dan Pugach, Tom Scott, Edan Morim, Keon Harold, and Rachel Eckroth. The best jazz instrumental album nominees are Trilogy 3 Live by Chick Corea, Christian McBride, and Brian Blade, Southern Nights by Sullivan Fortner featuring Peter Washington and Marcus Gilmore, Belonging by Branford Marsalis Quartet, Spirit Fall by John Petrucci featuring Chris Potter and Brian Blade, and Fasten Up by Yellow Jackets. Best Large Jazz Ensemble Album nominees are Orchestrator Emulator by the 8-Bit Big Band. That's a lot of bits. Without Further Ado, Volume 1 by Christian McBride and Big Band. Lumen by Danilo Perez and Bohushtan Big Band. Bassie Rocks by Deborah Silver and the Count Basie Orchestra. Lights on a Satellite by Sun Ra Orchestra. That's Arkestra. And Some Days Are Better, The Lost Scores by Kenny Wheeler Legacy, featuring the Royal Academy of Music Jazz Orchestra and Frost Jazz Orchestra. The Best Latin Jazz Album nominees are Le Feur de Caen by Paquito de Rivera and Madrid New York Connection Band. The original influencers, Dizzy, Chano, and Chico by Arturo O'Farrell and the Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra featuring Pedrito Martinez, Dami Arocena, John Faddis, Donald Harrison, and Melvis Santa. Moonduga, celebrating Carla Bley by Arturo O'Farrell and the Afro-Latin Jazz Orchestra. A tribute to Benny Moore and Nat King Cole by Gonzalo Rubalcaba, Yanier Horta, and Joey Calvero. Vanguardia Subterránea, live at the Village Vanguard by Miguel Zenon Quartet. I do apologize if I butchered any of those, but how the fuck would I know how to speak Latin, people? I really don't. The Best Alternative Jazz Album nominees are Honey from a Winter Stone by Ambrose Akinmusir, Keys to the City Volume 1 by Robert Glasper, Ride into the Sun by Brad Meldau, Live Action by Nate Smith, and Blues Blood by Emmanuel Wilkins. Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album nominees are Winter Songs by Layla Bayali, The Gift of Love by Jennifer Hudson, Who Believes in Angels by Elton John and Brandi Carlile, Harlequin by Lady Gaga, A Matter of Time by Laufey, and The Secret of Life Partners Volume 2 by Barbra Streisand. Best Contemporary Instrumental Album nominees are Brightside by Arkai, Ones and Twos by Gerald Clayton, Bay Trio by Bila Fleck, Edmar Castaneda and Antonio Sanchez, Just Us by Bob James and Dave Koz, and Cheyenne by Charu Suri. And finally, we have Best Musical Theater Album. The nominees are Buena Vista Social Club by Marco Paglia, Dean Chernow, and David Yazbek. Death Becomes Her by Torian Evette, Megan Hilty, Josh Lemon, Christopher Sieber, Jennifer Simard, and Michelle Williams. We also have Gypsy by Danny Burstein, Kevin Scholek, Audra McDonald, Jordan Tyson, and Joy Woods. Just in Time by Emily Burgell, Jonathan Groff, Erica Henninson, Gracie Lawrence, and Michelle Pock. And finally, Maybe Happy Ending by Marcus Choi, Darren Criss, Des Duran, and Helen J. Shen. So pretty much they're like the performers for this stuff, so. Okay, I think we should be at the halfway point right now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Roger Radio Show. I am your sexy host, Roger Radio. We are still covering the 2026 nominations for the Grammys, so we're going to jump right back into it. The first category that we are going to start with is the Country and American Roots categories. The Best Country Solo Performance nominees are Nose on the Grindstone by Tyler Childers, Good News by Shabuzi, Bad As I Used to Be by Chris Stapleton, I Never Lie by Zach Top, and Somewhere Over Laredo by Lainey Wilson. The Best Country Duo/Group Performance nominees are A Song to Sing by Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton, Trailblazer by Reba McEntire, Miranda Lambert and Lainey Wilson, Love Me Like You Used to Do by Margot Price and Tyler Childers, Amen by Shabuzi and Jelly Roll, and Honky Tonk Hall of Fame by George Strait and Chris Stapleton. The best contemporary country album nominees are Patterns by Chelsea Ballerini, Snipe Hunter, by Tyler Childers, Evangeline versus the Machine by Eric Church, Beautifully Broken by Jelly Roll, and Postcards from Texas by Miranda Lambert. Best traditional country album nominees are Dollar a Day by Charlie Crockett, American Romance by Lucas Nelson, Oh What a Beautiful World by Willie Nelson, Hard Headed Woman by Margot Price, and Ain't In It for My Health by Zach Top. The best country song nominees are Biden List by Tyler Childers, Good News by Shabuzi, I Never Lie by Zach Top, Summer Over Laredo by Lainey Wilson, and A Song to Sing by Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton. The best American Roots song nominees are Ancient Light by I'm With Her, Big Money by John Batiste, Foxes in the Snow by Jason Isbell, Middle by Jesse Wells, and Spitfire by Sierra Hall. The Best American Roots Performance nominees are Lonely Avenue by John Batiste featuring Randy Newman, Ancient Light by I'm With Her, Crimson and Clay by Jason Isbell, Richmond on the James by Allison Krauss and Union Station, and Beautiful Strangers by Mavis Staples. Best Americana Performance nominees are Boom by Sierra Hull, Poison in My Well by Maggie Rose and Grace Potter, Godspeed by Mavis Staples, That's Gonna Leave a Mark by Molly Tuttle, and Horses by Jesse Wells. The Best Americana album nominees are Big Money by John Batiste, Bloom by Larkin Poe, Last Leaf on the Tree by Willie Nelson, So Long Little Miss Sunshine by Molly Tuttle, and Middle by Jesse Wells. Best Bluegrass album nominees are Carter and Cleveland by Michael Cleveland and Jason Carter, A Tiptoe High Wire by Sierra Hull, Arcadia by Allison Krauss and Union Station, Outrun by the Steel Drivers, and Highway Prayers by Billy Strings. Best Traditional Blues album nominees are Ain't Done with the Blues by Buddy Guy, Room on the Porch by Taj Mahal and Kev Moe, 1 Hour Mama, The Blues of Victoria Spivey by Maria Muldahl, Lookout Highway by Charlie Musselwhite, and Young Fashioned Ways by Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Bobby Rush. Best Contemporary Blues Album nominees are Breakthrough by Joe Bonamassa, Paper Doll by Samantha Fish, A Tribute to LJK by Eric Gales, Preacher Kids by Robert Randolph, and Family by Southern Avenue. Best Folk Album nominees are What Did the Blackbird Say to the Crow by Rihanna Giddens and Justin Robinson, Crown of Roses by Patty Griffin, Wild and Clear and Blue by I'm With Her, Foxes in the Snow by Jason Isbell, and Under the Power Lines April 24th through September 24th by Jesse Wells. And finally, Best Regional Roots Music Album nominees are Live at Vaughn's by Corey Henry and the Trema Funktet, For Fat Man by Preservation Brass and Preservation Hall Jazz Band, Church of New Orleans by Kyle Roussel, Second Line Sunday by Trombone Shorty and New Breed Brass Band, and A Tribute to the King of Zydeco by various artists. Now we move on to gospel and contemporary Christian categories here. Best Gospel Performance / Song is Do It Again by Kirk Franklin for the nominees. Church by Tasha Cobbs Leonard and John Legend. Still Live by Jonathan McReynolds and Jamal Roberts. Amen by Pastor Mike Jr. And Come Jesus Come by Cece Winanza featuring Shirley Caesar. The Best Contemporary Christian Music Performance / Song nominees are I Know a Name by Elevation Worship, Chris Brown and Brandon Lake, Your Way's Better by Forrest Frank, Hard Fought Hallelujah by Brandon Lake with Jelly Roll, Headphones by Lecrae, Killer Mike and T.I., and Amazing by Darrell Walls and PJ Morton. The best gospel album nominees are Sunny Days by Yolanda Adams, Tasha by Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Live, Breathe, Fight by Tamala Mann, Only on the Road Live by Ty Tribbett, and Head of Mine by Darrell Walls and PJ Morton. Best Contemporary Christian Music Album nominees are Child of God 2 by Forrest Frank, Corritos Volume 1 by Israel and New Breed, King of Hearts by Brandon Lake, Reconstruction by Lecrae, and Let the Church Sing by Torrin Wells. I hope that's how I said it. And finally, Best Roots Gospel Album nominees are I Will Not Be Moved live by the Brooklyn Tabernacle Choir, Then Came the Morning by Gaither Vocal Band, Praise and Worship, More Than a Hollow Hallelujah by the Isaacs, Good Answers by Karen Peck and New River, and Back to My Roots by Candy Staton. Next up, we have Latin, Global, African, Reggae, and New Age, Ambient, or Chant categories here. And there's going to be almost a lot of them here, so I'll get right into them. Best Latin Pop Album nominees are Cosa Nostra by Raul Alejandro, Bogota Deluxe by Andres Capeta, Tropico Queta by Carol G, Cancionera by Natalia Lafourcade, and Why Ahora K by Alejandro Sanz. And I'm going to say right now, I'm sorry in advance if I butcher all these, but I'm probably going to fucking butcher all of them. Best Musica Urbana album nominees are Debí Tirar Más Fotos by Bad Bunny, Mixtape by J Balvin, Fergso Volume X Sagrado by Feed, Nike by Nicki Nicole, EUB Deluxe by Trueno, and Sinfonico and Vivo by Yandel. Best Latin Rock or Alternative Album nominees are Jeans Rebeldes by Atir Cio Peledos, Astropico by Bomba Estéreo, and Rayana, Papoto by, I don't know how that's pronounced. It's spelled C-A-7-R-I-E-L, so Carriel or whatever, and Paco Amoroso. Fucking dogs, man. Algorithm by Lost Wizards, and Novella by Vito Paez. Best Musica Mexicana Album featuring Trejano nominees are Mala Mia by Fresa Regida and Grupo Frontera, Wilo Que Vian by Grupo Frontera, Sin Rodeos by Paulo Jara, Palabra de Tos Seca by Karen Leon, Bobby Polito and Friends Una Tuya y Una Mia, Por la Puerta Grande en Vivo by Bobby Polito. Best Tropica Latin Album nominees are Fotografias by Ruben Blades and Roberto Delgado and Orquestra, Races RAICES by Gloria Estevan, Clásicos 1.0 by Grupo Niche, Bingo by Elian Perez, Debut y Segunda Tanda Volume 2 by Gilbert Santa Rosa, Best Reggae Album nominees are Treasure Self Love by Lila Ike, Heart and Soul by Viz Cartel, Blixten Faya by Keznamdi, From Within by Mortimer, and No Place Like Home by Jesse Royal. Best Global Music Performance nominees are EO by Bad Bunny, Cantando en el Camino by Cyril Hurtado, Jerusalema by Angelica Kidjo, Immigrante YK by Yasi Rojas, Srini's Dream by Shakti, Daybreak by Anushka Shankar, featuring Alam Khan and Sarathi Korwar. Best Global Music Album nominees are Sounds of Kumbha by Siddhant Bhatia, No Sign of Weakness by Burna Boy, Eclaria Le Monde, Light the World by Yasso Ndor, Mind Explosion, the 50th Anniversary Tour Live by Shakti, Chapter 3, We Return to Light by Anushka Shankar, featuring Alim Khan and Sarathi Korwar. And finally, Caetano e Bethania Io Vivo by Caetano Veloso and Maria Bethania. Best African Music Performance nominees are Love by Burna Boy, With You by Davido featuring Omale, Hope and Love by Eddie Kenzo and Meron Martin, Gimme That by Era Star featuring Wizkid, and Push to Start by Tyla. And finally, Best New Age, Ambient, or Chant album nominees are Kuruvinda by Kristen Agresta Coplay, According to the Moon by Cheryl B. Engelhardt, GEM and Dallas String Quartet, Into the Forest by Janavi Harrison, Nomadica by Carla Patullo, featuring the Scorchio Quartet and Tonality, and The Colors in My Mind by Chris Redding. And finally, thank fuck we're done with that, because I guarantee you a lot of people are gonna probably be screaming racist in the comments after that, but fucking A, bro. Why can't a lot of these not have fucking English translations here? God damn, dude. God fucking damn it, bro. The next category that we're going to get to is children's comedy, audiobook narration and storytelling, visual media, and music video / film nominee categories, I meant to say. All right. Just give me a quick moment, please. All right. Best Children's Album nominees are Ageless, 100 Years Young by Joni Leeds and Joya, Buddy's Magic Treehouse by Megan Ran, Harmony by Fayuch and Aura V, Her Story by Flora Bromley, and the music of Tori and the Mooses by Tori Amos. Best Comedy Album nominees are Drop Dead Years by Bill Burr, Postmortem by Sarah Silverman, Single Lady by Ali Wong, What Had Happened Was by Jamie Foxx, and Your Friend Nate Bargatze by Nate Bargatze. The Best Audiobook narration and storytelling recording nominees are Elvis, Rocky and Me, The Carol Connor Story by Kathy Garver, Into the Uncut Grass by Trevor Noah, Lovely One, a memoir by Ketanji Brown Jackson, Meditations, Reflections of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama by Tenzin Gyatso and the Dalai Lama, or however it's pronounced. And finally, You Know It's True, The Real Story of Milli Vanilli by Fab Morvan. Best Compilation Soundtrack for Visual Media nominees, which are movie soundtracks. These nominees are A Complete Unknown by Timothy Chalamet, F1 the Album by various artists, K-pop Demon Hunters by various artists, Sinners by various artists, and Wicked by various hunters. The best score soundtrack album for visual media nominees are How to Train Your Dragon by John Powell, Severance Season 2 by Theodore Shapiro, Sinners by Ludwig Göransson, Wicked by John Powell and Steven Schwartz, and finally The Wild Robot by Chris Bowers. Best score soundtrack for video games and other interactive media nominees are Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Secrets of the Spires by Pinar Toprak, Helldivers, Part 2, Number 2 by Wilbert Roget II, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle by Gordy Hobb, Star Wars The Outlaws, Wild Card and a Pirate's Fortune by Cody Matthew Johnson and Wilbert Roget II, and Sword of the Sea by Austin Wintory. Next up is the best song written for visual media nominees, which is As Alive as You Need to Be by Nine Inch Nails, Golden by Hunter X, EJ, Audrey Nuna, and Ray Ami, I Lied to You by Miles Catton, It's Never Too Late by Elton John and Brandy Carlisle, Pale Pale Moon by Jamie Lawson, and Sinners by Rod Wave. Nose is getting stuffy already, people. Fuck me. Best music video nominees are Manchild by Sabrina Carpenter, So Be It by Clips, Anxiety by Doechii, Love by OK Go, and Young Lion by Sade. Best music film nominees are Devo by Devo, Live at the Royal Albert Hall by Ray, Relentless by Diane Warren, Music by John Williams, and Piece by Pharrell Williams. Alrighty, so we still got a few more here. Thank God it's almost over. Holy shit. Alright. Next up, we got package, notes, and historical categories. Best historical album nominees are Joni Mitchell Archives, Volume 4, The Asylum Years 1976 through 1980 by Joni Mitchell. The Making of 5 Leaves Left by Nick Drake. Roots, Rockin' Zimbabwe, The Modern Sound of Herrera Townships. 1975 through 1980, Analog Africa number 41 by various artists. Super Disco Pirata de Tepito para el Mundo 1965 through 1980, Analog Africa number 39 by various artists. And You Can't Help a Square, the Doc Pomus songwriting demos by Doc Pomus. Best recording package nominees are Andy and Jay, The Adjacent Possible. Let's see here. Okay, I found it. Andy Adjacent Possible by OK Go. Balloonerism by Mac Miller. Danse Macabre Deluxe by Duran Duran. Loud as Is As by Tsunami. Sequoia by various artists, or Sequoia. The Spins Picture Disc Vinyl by Mac Miller. And finally, Tracks to the Lost Albums by Bruce Springsteen. Best album cover is nominees are Chromacopia by Tyler the Creator, Debí Tirar Más Fotos by Bad Bunny, The Crooks by Dijon, Glory by Perfume Genius, and Moisturizer by Wet Leg. And finally, best album notes is Adios, Farewell, Goodbye, Good Luck, and So On Stage 1964 through 1974 by Buck Owens and his Buckaroos. After the Last Sky by Anwar Braham, Anja Lesha, Django Bates, and Dave Holland. Arabe by Amanda Akiri. The First Family live at Winchester Cathedral 1967 by Sly and the Family Stone. A Ghost is Born by the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition by Wilco, and Miles 55 The Prestige Recordings by Miles Davis. Okay, I'm going to quickly pull up something here because I think there's something that's missing here because I am reading these off of Wikipedia. See if this shit will even fucking load for me. Um, I'm not interested in looking at fucking Okay, so the next category is production, engineering, composition, and arrangement, not categories, but there's only one that's right now showing up really because everything else is not showing up for whatever reason. Give me one more second here. Maybe I might be able to find it on a different source. Give me a moment. Fuck. I want to find production, engineering, and composition stuff. You'll have to give me a moment. Okay, so I'm going to have to read it off of the Billboard's article quick, so there might be a glitch. Let me exit this quick so that it'll stop loading. I think otherwise my shit's going to just all fuck up on my webcam as it is right now. Okay, so Best Engineered Album non-classical nominees are All Things Light by Cam, Arcadia by Alison Krauss and Union Station, For Melancholy Brunettes and Sad Women by Japanese Breakfast, and That Wasn't a Dream by Pino Palladino and Blake Mills. Okay, I think we're doing okay right now. Just give me a moment. Okay, the nominees for Best Engineered Album Classical is Cerrone Don't Look Down by Sandbox Percussion, Eastman Sympathy number 2 by, or number 2, Tchaikovsky Symphony number 2 by Franz Welser Most and the Cleveland Orchestra, Shostakovich, Lady Macbeth of the Medski District by Andres Nelsons, Christine Opoles, Gunther Grossbach, Peter Hoare, Brendan Gunnell, and Boston Symphony Orchestra. Standard Stoppages by Third Coast Percussion, and Ewell by Trio Medieval. Okay. Producer of the Year classical nominees are Blanton Alsbog, Sergei Kvitko, Morten Lindberg, Dimitri Lepay, Elaine Marton. Oh yeah, and Elaine Marton, I meant to say. Best Immersive Audio Album nominees are All American Fuckboy by Duckworth, Immersed by Justin Gray, an immersive tribute to Astor Piazzolla live by various artists, Tearjerkers by Tearjerkers, and Ewell by Trio Medieval. Best Instrumental Composition nominees are First Snow by Nordkraft the Big Band, Remy LeBeouf, and Danielle Wirtz, Live Life This Day Movement 1 by Miho Hazama, Danish Radio Big Band, and Danish National Symphony Orchestra, Lord That's a Long Way by Sierra Hall, Opening by Zain Effendi, Train to Emerald City by John Paul and Stephen Schwartz, and Why You Here Before the Sun Went Down by Ludwig Göransson featuring Miles Catton. Best Arrangement, Instrumental, or A Cappella nominees are Be Okay by Cynthia Erivo, A Child is Born by Nordkraft the Big Band and Remy LeBoeuf, Fight On by the Westerlies, and Super Mario Praise Break by the 8-Big Big Band. Okay, I just had to find where I was. Best Arrangement, Instruments, and Vocals nominees are Big Fish by Nate Smith featuring Saji, How Did She Look by Seth MacFarlane, Keep an Eye on Summer by Jacob Collier, and Something in the Water by Lawrence, and What a Wonderful World by Cody Fry. What a wonderful world. I think we should be okay right now, so I'm going to read these here. Just give me a quick moment, ladies and gentlemen. I just had to see what else there was here, quick. Okay, I see it now. Okay, I can go back to Wikipedia now here, so that's good. That's good. Best orchestral for the classical categories here. Best orchestral performance nominees are Coleridge Taylor by National Philharmonic, Messiaen Taranglia Symphony by Boston Symphony Orchestra, Ravel by Simon Bolivar Symphony Orchestra of Venezuela, Still in Bonds by the Philadelphia Orchestra, and Stravinsky Symphony in Three Movements by San Francisco Symphony. Best opera recording nominees are Hedgie Intelligence by Houston Grand Opera and Gene Shear, Huang Ruo, An American Soldier by American Composers Orchestra and David Henry Huang, Coyote de Jean Adoration by Sylvana Quartet, the Choir of Trinity Wall Street, O'Halloran by Irish National Opera Orchestra and Mark O'Halloran, and Tesori Grounded by the Metropolitan Opera Orchestra, the Metropolitan Opera Chorus, and George Brandt. Okay, there we go. Best Choral Performance nominees. I keep saying choral, but it's Choral. Anyway, the nominees are Advena Liturgies for a Broken World by Simon Barad, Emily Yoakum Black, and Michael House, and Conspire. Childs in the Arms of the Beloved by, let's see here. Oh, here we go. Billy Childs, Dan Chmielinsky, Christian Eumann, Larry Kuntz, Lyris Quartet, and Akiko Myers, Carol Robbins, and Luciana Souza, and Los Angeles Master Chorale. Lang Pour Hymnal by Stephen Bradshaw, Michael Howes, Lauren Kelly, Rachel Seiler, and Elisa Sutherland, and The Crossing. Ortiz Yanga by the Los Angeles Philharmonic and Los Angeles Master Choral, and Requiem of Light by Brian Giebler and Sangeeta Kao and the Clarion Choir. Best Chamber Music / Small Ensemble Performance nominees are Dennehy, Land of Winter by Alan Pearson and Alarm Will Sound, Lemire by French Piano Trios and Neve Trio, Lullabies for the Brokenhearted by Lily Hayden and Paul Cantillon, Stavic Sessions by let's see here, Yuji Wang and Andras Nelsons or the Boston Symphony Orchestra, and finally Standard Stoppages by Third Coast Percussion. Best Classical Instrumental Solo nominees are Coleridge Taylor, 3 selections from 24 Negro Melodies, sorry in advance, by the National Philharmonic, Hope orchestrated by Venezuela Strings Recording Ensemble, Inheritances by Adam Tendler, Price Piano Concerto in One Movement in D Minor by Malmo Opera Orchestra, Shostakovich, the Cello Concertos by Boston Symphony Orchestra, and Shostakovich, the Piano Concerto Solo Works by Boston Symphony Orchestra. The best classical vocal solo nominees are Like My Mother's Dream by National Symphonia Orchestra, Black Pirata by... Oh, it doesn't have a name on here. Oh, wait, never mind, it does. By Sidney Outlaw, soloist, and Warren Jones, pianist. In the Short Life by Devoney Smith, soloist, Danny Zalibor, pianist, and Michael Nicholas, the artist. Kurtang Kafka Fragments by Susan Naruchki, soloist, Curtis McComber, artist, and Schubert Beatles by Theo Hoffman. Or wait, I got it. Yeah, Schubert Beatles by Rupert Boyd, Julia Bullock, Alex Levine, Andrew Owens, Ruben Rengel, and Sam Weber. Telman Eno Opera Arias for Soprano by Boston Early Music Festival Orchestra. Best Classical Compendium nominees are Cerrone, Don't Look Down, The Dunbar by Sandbox Percussion, The Dunbar Moore Sessions Volume 3 by Will Lieberman, Ortiz Younger by Gustavo Dudamel, Seven Seasons by Janae Brugger, Isolate Fair, M.B. Gordy, and Star Parodi. Okay, I got it. And finally, Tombeau by Christina Sansingen. All right, and finally, the best contemporary classical composition nominees are Cerrone, Don't Look Down by Connor Hannock and Sandbox Percussion, Dennehy Land of Winter by Alan Pearson and Alarm Will Sound, Leon Ressi's Origins by Edward Gardner and London Philharmonic Orchestra, Acapulco Hebolo, Songs in Flight by Will Lieberman, Paul Sanchez, and various artists. And finally, Ortiz Does Not by Elisa Weilerstein, Gustavo Dudamel, and Los Angeles Philharmonic. Finally, another fucking bullshit thing where I could not even get half of it. God damn it. Okay, so before we close out, there is one more category that we are going to cover right now, and that is the special merit awards that will be awarded as well. So we're going to get into those. All right. And they obviously have already announced who will be accepting these awards. All right, for the Lifetime Achievement Awards, I just want to say, recipients of the Lifetime Achievement Awards, Trustee Awards, Grammy Legend Awards, Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, Black Music Icon Award, and Salute to Industry Icons honoree. So those are all going to be the awards right there. And they have already announced who will be getting them. The Lifetime Achievement Awards will be going to Boozy Badaz, Webby, and Fox, the rapper. The Trustee Awards will go to Boozy Badaz, Webby, and the Trill Entertainment Music Industry. Okay, never mind, I got it. Salute to the Industry Icons honoree will be going to Boozy Badaz, Webby, Fox rapper, and Trill Entertainment Music Industry. The Dr. Dre Global Impact Award will be going to Boozy Badaz, Webby, Fox the rapper, and the Trill Entertainment Music Industry. The Grammy Legend Award will be going to Boozy Badaz, Webby / Boozy Badaz, Trill Entertainment Music Industry, and Young Jeezy. And finally, the Black Music Icon Award will go to Boozy Badaz, Webby, Fox, the rapper, and Boozy Badaz, Webby Trill Entertainment Music Industry. Okay, so that's pretty much all the awards that are going out finally. We've finally gone through all of them. Obviously, I think it's excellent enough. I know I will know a lot more for sure once the Grammy Awards will come around, and Aegis and I will actually cover the awards when that time comes in February. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much all of them. Just a quick reminder that the award show will be on Sunday, February 1st, 2026 at the Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles, and it will be broadcasted on CBS for the very last time, and it will be available to stream on Paramount Plus. As of right now, the host is yet to be announced. Kendrick Lamar is right now the most nominated artist for all of them with 9. A lot more W's for him in this war against Drake, and I look forward to seeing it. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to the Roger Radio Show if you haven't yet. If you like music-related content, and if you if you have any thoughts on who should have been nominated or who you think might win for like all these awards, leave a comment below. And while you're at it, be sure to subscribe to my second channel, El Gallo Productions, and subscribe to Aegis's channel, the Interrobang Group. The links to those channels will be in the description below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching, and until next time, ta-ta for now!